Hello everyone and welcome back to the C programming course from Zero to Hero and to the Unit 6 structures. And I would like to congratulate you guys for completing the first 5 units, and that's quite an accomplishment for the beginners. And I would again would like to request you guys to do subscribe our channel and hit the notification bell icon so that you can get the latest updates related to this course and for the upcoming courses. I hope you remember this data types table where we studied about the types of data types we have in C, and we have studied about the fundamental data types: character, integer, long, double, float, and we also talked about pointers, and we will be talking about arrays and strings in unit 7. You can wait for that. Okay. And the main focus of this unit will be on user defined data types, and that too on structures, because structures are very important in C language, and union and enumeration, or you can say enum, have very specific use. They are not widely used. Okay, so before understanding or jumping to the definition of structures or the syntax of the structure, let's understand why do we need structures. Okay, so for that I have written a program. It is a simple program which is asking a roll number and marks of a student, and I have declared an integer variable for roll number and a floating point variable for marks, and that is very obvious reason. Okay, that is due to very obvious reason because marks can be a decimal point number. Okay, so in the first in these lines I have entered the marks, and in these line I am just printing the information that user entered, and you can see in output here that we have entered the marks here, and we are just displaying the information of a student here. Okay, the problem, I hope this is a quite simple program to understand, and the problem with this program is that though we are storing roll number and mark of a single student, but these marks and these roll number are not intertwined or interlinked. Okay, they are, though they are informing us about the same person, still they are different from each other, and they are independent of each other. They are not, they are not saying that this roll number belongs to the same student whose marks I have entered. Okay, so we can, I wish we had a mechanism where we can bind them together, or we would be having some sort of data type which would be storing two numbers, an integer number or a floating point number, so that if I would have entered of information of n number of students, then I need to declare n number of roll numbers. Okay, and n numbers of marks, and perhaps for two students, I would have named the variable for roll number as roll number 1, roll number 2 for storing the roll number of the second student. Okay, so the solution for this problem is structures. So what are structures? So structures is a group of data elements grouped together under a single name, or you can say one name. These data elements, known as members, or you can even say data members, can have different data types and different lengths, and from length we mean the sizes. Okay, so structures are basically a group of data elements grouped together under a single name, and the syntax says I need to write struct, which is a keyword that tell the compiler that I am going to declare a structure, and the name, then we need to declare the name of a structure, and the naming convention name rules for the writing the name of the structure remains same as the variables. Then I need to declare the data members of the structures, and the data members can be there is no restriction about how many data members a structure can have. So you can have n number of data members and n types of data members. There is no even restriction that all the data members should be of same type. It is not a restriction, and at the end I need to write the semicolon, and I can declare the, or you can say I can declare an object of that structure within the definition of the structure, and I will be talking about this, what is this obj name. Okay, or you can say object name. So for this particular example, I'm going to declare a structure, and that structure is going to have two data members, and those two data members will be roll number and marks, and the name of the structure that I would be using here is student, because I'm going to enter the data, because that structure is going to inform us about the students marks and its roll number. I need to write struct keyword, and then student. By naming convention, the first letter should be capital while we are naming the naming our structures. Okay, you can have small alphabet, but it is a good programming practice to have first character capitalized or letter capitalized. Then I need to just declare two variables, roll number and I'm using a camel casing. You can use snake case as per your convenience. Float, marks, and I am not declaring object right now. So what we have now, we have made our own data types. We have declared our own data type, that is our own user defined data type, and that the name of that data type is structure student. Okay, the name of that data type is student, and that student type of data is going to have two data elements or two data members, and one will be an integer whose name will be in roll number, and second would be a marks, that would be a floating point number. Okay, so we have declared, I repeat again, we have declared our own data type, and the name of the data type is student, and that the variables of this student data type is going to store two things, one roll number and second thing will be marks. So we can say how we declare the variables of an data type. We need to first write the name of the data type and then the name of the variable. Same convention is, or you can say same syntax we are going to follow here also. So for that we need to write the name of the data type, and the name of the data type here will be struct student. You cannot directly write student, you need to specify that we are going to declare the variables of the structure student, and then we need to specify the name of the variable, and in this case I am taking the name of the variable to be s. Okay, and this s is we do not use the name variable here, we use the name object here. Okay, so I have used variable to make you understand more clearly, but these are called objects. The variables of a structure, you can say, are called objects, they are not called variables. So the s is here a student structure, or you can say s is the object of structure student. Okay, and you can have any number of, you can declare any number of object of a structure, and for this I have declared a structure s, the object of a structure student s. And how the question arises, how we can access its data elements. Am I supposed to write s is equals to the roll number? No, this is not going to work. Okay, so how can I access the roll number and the marks of object s? How I can access that? For accessing that I need a dot operator. Okay, and for that I am just going to simply write s dot roll number, and that will tell us the object s. We need to access the roll number of object s, or you can say student s, because s is a student type data type, or so we can say we need roll number of student s. And similarly goes for s. Here for marks we need the marks of student s, and I'm going to do the same for the printing process, and let's run the program. And before running it, let's have a breakpoint so that you can understand how the structure s is declared. So I need to enter the roll number. Roll number will be 12 and marks will be maybe 77.5. Okay, and now you can see in here the variable s has been declared, and the type of the the object s is student. And you can see here when I click in here, the student has two data members. Okay, first is roll number and second is marks, and we have given the values given the value of roll number as 12 and marks as 77.5, and we are going to go with the compiler. And now you can see we have printed the both the values, and you can see see that the student S has two things, marks and roll numbers. Now what I am going to enter the information of two students so that you can differentiate between two objects. Okay, S1 and S2, I'm taking S1 and S2. S1, S2, sorry, S1 and S1. Let's have one in here and one in here, and let's copy this, Control C and Command V. S2, copy and paste, S2, S2. So first we are directly entering the information of two students, and then we are simply printing those values. Okay, so for student 1 the roll number is 12, marks was 77.5. For roll number 2, or student 2 roll number is 13, marks are 88, I guess. And you can see here we have just declared two students, and both of them has roll number and marks embedded in it, or you can say they have their own roll numbers and marks. The roll number here, the roll number of S1 is a different variable, and roll number of S2 is different variable. And how we can access these two different roll numbers? For this we need to write S1 dot roll number, and for this we need to write S2 dot roll number. Okay, so this was all about how you can initialize a structure, how you can declare the objects or declare the objects of a structure, and how you can use those structures. Okay, how you can access their data members, or simply you can say members. Now the question arises that what would be the size of this data type, this particular data type. Every data type has a size, every data type occupies some memory in in your system. So what would be the memory occupied by this structure, specific this structure, student structure? So the for structure calculating the we need so for calculating the size that the student, or you can say any structure, is going to occupy is the total number of memory occupied by each variable. So integer variable occupies a memory of 4 bytes, and same goes for float. So you can see we can use a size of operator to check what is the size of this structure, and we should expect the answer to be the 8, because 4 bytes for integer and 4 bytes for float. So you can see here I'm using size of operator, and you can write struct student, or you can even you can give the object of the structure as an input also. Okay, so let's see what we are having as the output. You can ignore this for now, and see we have received an answer to be 8. If I would be having one more integer number, then suppose I have maybe what could be in one more integer, suppose x something information we are storing, so we should expect the answer to be 12. Okay, because 4 for this, 4 for this, and 4 for this, and total of 8 bytes of memory. Okay, this was all about basic structure, how we can declare a structure, how we can declare its objects, and how we can access the data members of the structure or the object. And that was all for this video. Next video we will be talking about unions. So bye bye.